All right. So let's run through some of these bullet points here, and kind of uncover what's going on to satisfy the needs that are there for our veterans, right? So, number one bullet point: a letter to the Secretary of Veterans Affairs, Denis McDonough, and Secretary of Defense, Lloyd, urging them to develop a skills-based badging program. Is that what that says?
It does.
Yeah, badging program for competencies that veterans learn while serving, like IT, logistics, and electrical work. So some sort of a badging program. There's a sub bullet here. Employers can look at these badges just like a transcript and know that veterans are equipped to succeed in a job and start day one. Let's unpack that, Randy.
Yeah. So why is he writing letters to the Secretary of Defense and the Secretary of the VA? Well, there is only so much that an elected representative can do to influence or control what these cabinet level entities do, right? On the Congress side, there is some things they can do. They can legislate, but getting legislation done is difficult. It's an uphill, time-consuming battle. We'll talk about that in the next bullet. They provide oversight, so you can be on a committee. But at the end of the day, and they control the purse strings, right? So, but at the end of the day, there's only so much that they can do to influence policy within either the VA or the DoD. So that's why he's writing a letter and urging them to create some sort of a badging program or some sort of a way to recognize the skills and competencies, IT, logistics, electrical, whatever it may be, that these veterans or these service members receive before they become veterans. And I think it's important because, we've talked about this in other videos, but what I think this letter is getting at is the offboarding process. So, you've got all these skills, all these things that you can, do now after years of military training. We need to find a way to present that to civilian employers. And we've talked about this in other videos. You think about all the time, energy, and effort the military takes to recruit you and bring you in. But when they offboard you, it's a much more fragmented and inconsistent process. And so, the first bullet here, we're talking about a letter. It's saying, hey, Secretary McDonough, Secretary Austin, let's take a look at how we are articulating skills for transitioning service members, getting it down on paper, getting it electronic, getting it whatever it may be, this badge, and making that available, putting it as a tool in the newly minted veterans tool chest. So I like it. At the end of the day, there's only so much he can do to move the needle with Secretary Austin and Secretary McDonough. So at least he's doing something by reaching out to them directly. Chris, your thoughts on that first letter, bullet, communication, feedback loop there?
Yeah, and look, I think this is great because it drives a coordinated effort. But you could do all this today. So if you're serving in the military today, there are resources out there. There are company organizations and communities like Vets in Tech, like Empower, like Breakline, and you can just go on and on and on, of made up of veterans or veterans allies who have seen this gap and are out there trying to bridge it. A company called Talent Sky that I'm working with currently that's trying to do this exact thing, trying to help people in industry who are veterans bring veterans up to speed through the power of workshops. So there's a lot of stuff out there. So don't think that we have to rely on legislation to do this. I know that we have, the skills bridge programs. We have trade unions going on to military posts, maybe not yours, but some. So there, in the military offers you education, online education opportunities to go after certificate programs and certification programs, especially around IT. What is it's like there's a specific IT credentialing system that's university, like TIF CREA or something like that. I'll look it up while we're talking. But this is good because it brings organization and it brings leadership oversight. But don't think that you have to wait for Big Brother military or government to legislate the fact that you can do a lot of this already today. There's a lot of really great organizations who have figured this out, and they're giving this mostly for free. And all you have to do is have a level of commitment. And so take advantage of this, whether this comes through or not. But this is obviously a multi-pronged attack that will work in conjunction with certifications and badges, which are a great way of breaking down things, breaking down communications barriers between hiring entities and the folks that are seeking to get hired.